My name is Patrick Oluwadamilare, and in this presentation, I'll be discussing on NECA Business Consultancy. I'll be providing a brief description of the product the business offers and the overview of remote of the remote working team. NECA is actually a business consultancy firm that is um, situated in Lagos, Nigeria, and the core business area is to sort of provide consultancy in the areas of businesses, especially for startup businesses. So NECA specializes in areas such as training a new business owner on how to manage their finances, on how to raise funds, on how to ensure that it keeps a record clean so that it can be able to overcome government challenges in the areas of taxation. Um, so that's the basic of what NECA does. Another aspect of NECA business um, process is that of business session, which is a forum created to um, train businesses to listen to new businesses to listen to their pitch and if, to sort of screen it if it's worthy of further investment and all of that. So that's what NECA business consultancy does. Okay, so in the next slide, I'll be looking at um, okay, before going to the next slide, basically, my work with NECA is such that we have we have a team that manages the tech aspect of NECA business. Now, the team comprises of six um, tech guys, which I happen to be the head of that team, and our core responsibility is to manage the new product that NECA is working on, which is the business session aspect. So I also oversee the management of the NECA website to ensure that we screen all of the business proposal that the company receive every month and to determine the one that is worthy of being placed on the website. So we currently are working on the business session platform, which would have a YouTube channel for all the businesses that is recorded to sort of provide storage for all recorded session during that period so that new business startup owners can go to that channel and sort of watch previous editions so that they have an idea of what we'll be doing in that aspect in the one they will be attending. So the entire platform has a series of forms which each of the development team has been stationed to manage. There is the design aspect, there is the form creation and validation aspect, which will be discussed in more details as I move forward. So basically, the objective and the smart goal, which is what we are looking at right now, in terms of being specific, the target of the business session is to ensure that within the space of 2 years, that the company is able to support 10 to support in terms of funding 10 startup businesses within the space of 2 years. The company also want to ensure that um, within this period that there's a creation of multiple channels to screen participants. So there's the session which will be done through video. So there will be panels of people in that business session forum where people get to listen to um, business owner to listen to their pitch so that they can determine if they are worthy of further investment or if all they need is just an advice. So there's also the aspect of um, being able to achieve this target. So our weekly delivery and review of each phases to ascertain efficiency. So what we want to do is to ensure that every phase of the development is broken down into weekly phases for every members of the remote team to sort of handle. So like I said, there's a team, there's an individual that handles development, there's an individual that handles creation of um, the entire design. Then we have two members of the team stationed to manage the studio that will be used to record the videos of um, participants in that session. So we have two people assigned to oversee that aspect so that we can ensure that within the space of 3 months we achieve our overall target, which is to get um, the the process started. Also, in terms of relevance of our objective, participant businesses would be verified to ensure that the business align with our core mandate. So what we want to do is, like I said, the overall objective is locked up in the company being able to fund 10 startup businesses within the space of 2 years, and the reward for the company will be to have a share in each of these uh, businesses. So we want to ensure that every business that is coming to the business session platform is screened to ensure that they align with the company's objective, with the company's overall goal, and which the platform that we are building at the moment is configured to have a sort of algorithms that will check every business to see if they meet up with the standard that we have in mind. So in terms of timeliness, we have set a delivery date, which is February 2022 for the completion of this project, so that it goes live and people can be able to participate in it. So, okay, in terms of team formation, our team formation was basically based on the fact that we want to have, we understand that there is a need to have effective communication among team members. So we ensure that each of these team, uh, uh, they are based, they are selected. Each members of the team are selected um, with the intention to sort of have um, to be able to communicate easily. So we want people that we can relate together. We want people that we can communicate um, without having any challenges in that area. So communication is a key aspect of our team formation, and also in terms of responsibility and goals. So we ensure that everybody understand their duty in the team. So everybody knows what is expected of them. They know the deadline that is attached to every task that is assigned to them. So, and they understand the dependencies that exist in their task, such that um, they will be able to set priorities on, okay, which one should come first when they are executing each of those tasks. Also, we have rules that we have sort of put in place so that everyone understand each other, so that everyone understand the need to respect one another. So we have that in place as well. So we also have approvers in place that we have put as a measure, so that we are able to checkmate, we are able to sort of uh, uh, guide what we are pushing to the main development arm. Now, this is, for instance, so we have a GitHub repository account that has been created for the project, for the web version of the project, which we have four people working on that aspect. So we have the person working on the design, we have the person with interface design, then we have the UI design rather. So we have someone working on the form and the database. We have someone working on the event and all of the functionalities and all of that. So we ensure that everybody task goes through a central approval before it is merged with the main project, so that we can ensure that everything work perfectly, because we don't want to have setback. If somebody has not tested his own portion of the program very well, then it's going to affect others if it is merged together. So we have rules in place to say, okay, let one person handle the testing of every aspect of the program. So there's someone who handles testing, who handles debugging to ensure that there's no error in whatever we are merging. And by the time we are launching live, we want to ensure that everything runs smoothly, so that users will not be having glitches when they are operating the system. Okay, so um, our the roles that we have assigned to every members of the team. I hope my video is not blocking the screen. So, for instance, like I said, we have 6 members in the team. We have Paul, who handles UI design and ensure it is delivered in a timely manner. So Paul has 4 weeks to ensure that all the UIs, all the forms are completed and delivered within the space of 4 weeks. Then we have Lola, who also has 4 weeks to work on the design and ensure that those forms are validated and submitted to database. So we want to make sure that every key deliverables in those forms, every aspect of the forms that has been termed to be important is submitted to database. So we have Lola who handles that, and Jide who also manages project documentation, testing, and debugging. He ensures that everything works perfectly before merging with the um, um, main aspect of the development. So we have Banji who continuously who work on in a continuous manner to ensure that each team members are working in accordance with the timeline, and that areas of setback is identified in a timely manner with immediate response for correction. So we have Banji who handles this aspect. So myself and Bola and Johnson, we have 12 weeks, and our job is to ensure that um, the studio where the recording will be taking place is put in place, the lightning, and while Bola and Johnson handles the business session recording studio. Bola focuses on making sure that the lightning, microphone, and other equipment that is in the studio, speakers, and all of that they work efficiently. They do the job that we want them to do. Johnson, on the other hand, ensures that the studio design is spot on so that it can fuel creativity. So we want an environment where people step in, they they are inspired to think out of the box. We don't want a boring environment. So we want a studio that when people are watching the videos online, it will be clean, it will be very exciting to watch. So I oversee all of these aspects to ensure that everything turn out perfectly as it should be. So workflow and collaboration. Um, So we basically, in order to ensure that the remote team is able to work perfectly and efficiently, we ensure that we use communication tools such as WhatsApp and Google Meet. So, in addition to using individuals' WhatsApp um, to communicate with among ourselves with our individual WhatsApp line, we also have a group where every members of the team can just drop their questions or whatever challenges they are having, and anyone that is expected to have answers to that will be able to respond instantly. And so, whenever we want to have general meeting where every members will need to present their own aspect of the project, to sort of share their screen, tell us what they are doing on their own end, we use Google Meet because it doesn't have time frame and it's cost effective. So we use majorly Google Meet, WhatsApp group, and we use email. Sometimes another thing that we use is to manage our task assignment. We use Microsoft To Do app. This is to ensure that everybody understand what they are assigned to do. The app has a notification um, which is time based. So at every point in time when the deadline for the completion of each of the tasks assigned is getting close, so the notification gets to alert the person and sort of show the delivery date for that task. We also use project version control, which is GitHub. For every version of the project that we are creating, we have a GitHub account to sort of control that project and to sort of help us manage the project flow. We also have project documentation, which we are using Google Sheets to manage and to keep track of every aspect of the project, so that if some other time another set of people will be working on it, we want to ensure that they have all that they need to get the job done. We have channels and broadcast when we are doing our live meeting. So we live business session. We use Zoom meeting to sort of broadcast the event. We use YouTube channel to store the videos instead of putting it on our website, because we understand that if it's directly saved on the website, it will be too heavy for the site. So we use YouTube to provide storage for all of those video sessions, and for to sort of create a live event whenever we want to go live. We also use YouTube. So we have Facebook and Instagram that we are using to promote the business at the moment. So we have we have two members of the team assigned to manage the Facebook and Instagram channel remotely. So we have ways of monitoring the activities to ensure that it is in line with our overall objective. The influence of culture. Yes, culture is something that is very, very key. Something that we take very particular. Some members of this team are not even about two members of the team are not from the same country. We have every members of the team, emanated from different culture. So we ensure that we have a strong sense of community to sort of promote community among members, rather than to echo our individual differences or our individual bias. We ensure that there is strong relationship one another among ourselves by using physical hangout sometimes to sort of get to discuss more and to deliberate on some of the things that we are doing. So we have a hangout session once in a month. Most importantly, we promote more of the company's corporate culture rather than to promote our individual, way of life, to sort of say, oh, we have our own culture is better. So we promote the corporate culture, but we stick to what the organization wants than doing what we want as an individual. So this is how we have been able to manage the influence of culture on the remote team. So communication. Basically, we use WhatsApp and Google Meets to to review our progress daily. We use virtual meeting. Virtual meeting is held daily between 5 to 6 p.m. Yes, we hold meeting every day to discuss whatever we have um, done for that day, so that we do not lose touch of our overall objective. If anybody have questions, they get to ask during that period. So it's just a 1 hour meeting, but we do it every day to ensure that we um, maintain a relationship with one another. We also have hangout once in a month in the recording studio, and this so that we can sort of supervise what is going on in the studio, the progress of the work done so far. We test the equipment, and we use 1 hour to do personal chats after our supervision with the studio before we depart to our various um, um, places of residence. How do we manage conflict? Conflict management. The number one thing is to be proactive. We try to stop it before it grows too big. That's one thing that I do. Whenever we are having meeting, I ensure to listen. If I see that someone has said something that could be offensive to another person, I try to address that aspect in a subtle manner, and provide clarity that would sort of dispel whatsoever a wrong impression that might have been created on the mind of the other party. So I'm always very proactive during meetings, and I also seek to get feedback at all times from other for members of the team. I want to know how they feel. So in the course of hearing from them, I get to know, okay, if they feel terrible about what someone have said, and I try to sort of mediate between them. Um, Sometimes whenever we of course it's practically impossible for people to work together without stepping on each other's toe, but what I try to do at most time is to be fair to all without taking side. I try to listen to both parties, and before pulling them together if necessary to address whatever challenges that they have, and I ensure to emphasize the need for everybody to work together.